Sharonda.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I'm Sharonda Official, guys, and I am single, unfortunately. I'm a stylist, TV personality, and actress, and I'm looking for love.
It's all right. Yes. Oh, good
In the
so
streets
adorable.
is something serious.
Yes.
I'm trying to tell you what I know, and I don't do a lot of dating.
Oh, we got to change that.
I guess.
We do.
I mean, I am kind of dating.
Do you date one at a time?
I do.
Oh, that's the problem.
I do.
You ever opened up your journal and you thought for a moment, dear future self, dear future life, or for me, dear future husband? Join me on this journey as I explore love, romance, and happiness, and have intriguing conversations with individuals as we explore their secret lives in romance and in love. I'm Belinda Sanders, and this is my podcast, Dear Future Husband. All right, y'all. Thank you again for joining me for another episode on season 2 of Dear Future Husband. But today we are having the Girlfriends edition. So meet my girls, y'all. Meet my girls.
Hey.
So I want y'all to introduce yourself, but this is my girlfriend Ro, and we go way back. Yes. So this is about to get real juicy. And most of y'all know my BF. Ma Ginger, hey bae, hey, and my new homie, yes, Sharonda, what's up, y'all?
Hi.
So this conversation is about to get real juicy because we're about to expose some things, and we're gonna get transparent. We really are, because not only do we want to have a conversation that's transformational to us, but we also want you guys to see that, listen, it doesn't matter what you're going through in these Atlanta streets or wherever you at, Houston, Chicago, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So we all, it ends well, okay? So it really ends well. So to get started, we definitely want to give it out to our sponsors today. This episode is sponsored by Gap Tax Solutions.
Yes.
So any of your tax bookkeeping needs, please click the link in the bio, and you'll have access to all things accounting. So let's get started. Who are you, Miss Ro?
Miss Ro is
And tell your relationship status.
single. My name is Ro. I am all things fabulous in tech, career woman, newly found entrepreneur, which I'm excited about. And just kind of exploring my new journey since I moved over back to the East Coast from the West Coast. So I was out in Seattle in those streets, which are very dry. But, very much looking forward to being back on the East Coast, close to family, close to friends, new friends. And, it's been interesting in the year that I've been here, just trying to get adjusted to just, new life, new home, new career, new everything, but also trying to find the happy in me before I go back out into these streets and find what's lurking out there. But so far, I can't complain.
Okay. So single. I didn't know that was a relationship status, but okay, I got it. All right, Ginger, what's up, baby girl?
Hey, my love. So my name is Maat Petrova. Of course, B calls me Ginger. I am owner of FemMagic, a feminine care company, taking care of vaginas globally. And as far as my status, I'm single. Currently dating. I didn't plan on dating this year, but I'm dating, and because I was head down with my business, right?
Okay.
So that's been my focus this year, because last year was, what would you call last year?
Off the records, okay? It don't count.
We might talk. Oh, it don't count. Okay. We might get into that. Anyway, so that's what's happening with me right now. But I'm excited. Life is good. I'm in love with myself. So, yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Sharonda.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I'm Sharonda Official, guys, and I am single, unfortunately. I'm a stylist, TV personality, and actress, and I'm looking for love.
Oh. Yes.
I'm trying to tell you what I know, and I don't do a lot of dating.
Oh, we got to change that.
I guess.
We do.
Do you,
I am kind
do
of
you
dating.
do you date one at a time?
I do.
Oh, that's the problem.
I do. That is the problem. I do believe that, but I don't know. I just be so shady. Like
What do you
if I find
mean?
any little thing I don't like, I'm good. I'm like,
You gotta
I'm telling you.
diversify, right? So when you go shopping,
But that's
do
what I
you
need to do.
Look around, pick and choose. What do I like? What don't I like? But you play with everything until you find that perfect thing, that perfect person.
Play with
I need
everything.
to do that. I need to hear that so I can start to do
I
that.
call them contestants. They audition, right?
Yeah.
And each one takes a turn, and whoever the best man is, that's
The one who wins.
That's him.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I think it's important to just date
Play
a
around
little
just a
bit.
little bit.
I'm not gonna say play because
That could go
I
kinda
take it
far.
very, I take my love life very seriously.
Right.
So I date with intention. So for me, I only date men that I can see a future with.
Right. I tried to do
Yes.
that until they piss me off.
But of course,
Once they piss me off, I'll be like, okay, I'm cool, and then I won't do nothing. And the next thing you know, a whole year done passed by, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna start dating again.
no, can we just
You gotta help me. If
yeah.
y'all help me, then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try something different. And then when I leave and I'll be calling you, I'm gonna be like, Belinda, guess what? You're gonna be like, girl, show me that ring because I know you got it.
Right.
That's it.
So, I mean, honestly, you can't give them more than 90 days to prove who they are.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's it.
I do believe that though.
Yeah, and I'm not like one of those rules person
Right.
because like if you're spending a significant amount of time with a man, then he can show you in the sooner amount of time than that. But I think that if you're not happy within that 90-day period, then yeah, their
It's a
time is
wrap.
up.
Yeah, it's a
And
wrap.
that's
That's
okay.
enough time. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
because
was like
the
that.
pink flags, the red flags, they all show up.
And we be ignoring them, okay?
Acting like we
They
don't
be on
know.
we don't
billboards,
see
and you're just
him.
like, I don't see it.
I don't see it.
So what are some red flags you guys have seen but ignored? I can definitely tell you one or two.
I say inconsistency with somebody you do like that you are trying to date.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I'm experiencing now. So I do have somebody that I do like.
okay. But he's inconsistent.
He's not consistent.
How long have you been seeing him?
Well, I met him last year, but we've been off and on. Strictly platonic, but the chemistry we have when we see each other is crazy. I promise you, I've never been like that with nobody.
Do you get
else
butterflies?
Ever. It's not butterflies,
Okay,
but
good.
it's like I can't, like I'm always on him. I promise you, I've never been like this before in my life with nobody, not even my kid's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I don't know, but he be like that with me too. And we never even sexually been together. It's different.
good.
It's really different. But I don't mean to say it's different, meaning something good gonna come from that, because I don't know. But it's just, I don't know, it's like a magnet. So I'm like, ooh.
But what's inconsistent about him?
The phone calls, the messages.
He doesn't check up like he needs to.
Sometimes he's gotten better this year than last year, because we was having falling outs. You make me mad, I don't call you. He pissed me off.
So y'all both petty, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
No, honestly, I've seen that happen.
baby.
No,
Yeah.
Sharonda, we all do that. We get
Yeah.
petty, but with men, what I'm noticing, the moment we as women start getting petty, it's a downward. So you can forget it. The relationship is over.
That's
Like we
yeah.
we can't. Like honestly, if we are really dating, because I hate to say this, but it's so true. Men are more fragile than us. In terms of their ego,
Yeah, I
in
agree.
terms of their emotions,
Right.
they want to be able to give up who they are to one woman. They want to do it.
They do.
They do. They sincerely want to. But when we show up with our insecurities and we start the pettiness, men respect us being authentic up front, no matter how ugly the story is.
Right.
No, as long as we're not overly emotional and we're just, being honest with them and transparent, they respect that. Like I can tell you some stories, okay? But I can also tell you, where that actually has impacted the relationship in a positive way. And I can tell you some stories on when I was petty. It was a downward spiral. So
Yeah, that
and
might be
I
part
guess
of it.
So
I'm the cutoff block queen. Y'all, you guys know that.
it's true.
Right? Okay. Just call me Miss Lego. Okay. But Lego as in Lego. Right?
I swear she's gonna make it down the aisle if it kills me if they get there.
One of these days.
But something really amazing happened this past Monday.
Okay.
And I want to share that. So, as you all know, I did not intend on dating anyone this year.
Yeah.
But, you know, I met a couple of people, and so we've been kicking it on the phone, and maybe about 3 people. And we've been kicking it on the phone, but this one, as of recent, who I met through...
God's work. I do God's work.
Okay, it was a really peculiar way that I met him because I'm not on any dating apps, and she was on a dating app. And we were on the phone talking, and she was scrolling. I said, find me somebody. So she sent me one guy. She's like, look, he's vegan, and that doesn't matter to me. But she was like, he's vegan. And look at him, he's fit. And I was like, girl, next. So she sent me another person, and she was like, this is the one. But I wasn't really convinced. So finally she sent him, and I was like, oh, that's a nice one. So she was like, here's his IG. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? She said, go to his page and like 5 of his photos. So...
Strategy.
I'm like, okay.
Sharonda.
I said, what else? Because I've never DM'd a man before, even though this one right here has been telling me, DM this person and DM that, get in those DMs.
The DMs work, but I've noticed even if I just strategically choose some random photos, they will go and like the same amount back.
Yeah.
Or
I experienced that.
Or they will DM, and I'm like, oh, that works.
But then
too.
some of them be DM and they pages be private. And I'll be like, okay, I'm cool. Because I'm not about to start
cool.
But you
following
can't
you.
like on
need
his
to-
first.
No, you can't like
if
it,
it's
but
private.
they still be in my DM.
Oh, and
your
yours
page is
first.
private. So
Okay.
I'm trying to see who this person is, and I can't even see because your page is private. So I'm just like,
Right.
okay, next.
Right. So that's a something for men to note. If you are really seriously trying to date one of us or most women and your page is private, that's a red flag for
You
us.
have to
So
open that up.
isn't it?
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. What you hiding?
But without being long-winded, this guy and we were talking. He's supposed to be visiting me. He lives in another state. And we got into a little bit of a tiff-taff, right? And the way that I expressed that, you know, I wasn't comfortable with doing this thing. I think it was about like him flying in and me meeting him at the airport. And I was just, you know, I was resentful towards that. And so I cut him off. You know, because I didn't cut him off. So we stopped talking. The communication just fell off after, you know, the next day after that conversation. And I wasn't about to call him back, so I blocked him on IG, right? But I left the phone lines open, okay? I left the phone open. And I was going to just leave it like that, even though he was supposed to be coming to Atlanta specifically to meet me. But this one right here, Bessie, she told me that I needed to call him.
Yes. He was a good
And I was like, what? Call him? Are you kidding me? Call him for what?
Yes.
He was a good man.
Great man.
He was a great man.
Yes. And he was so doting over you. So we were not going to let you do that.
I'm invested. All my stock is on God's work.
Okay.
So we're listening.
So I call him, and, you know, I put on my soft voice. I was like, hey, how are you? We haven't been talking. You know, I noticed we haven't spoken over the weekend. So I just want to let you know I miss you. And he was like, oh, I miss you too. And then we got into to conversation. And then I was like, so what happened? You know, we just fell off from talking to each other. And he said, no, I just got busy. And I told Belinda, I texted her, I was like, he said he just got busy while I was on the phone. She was like, he's lying. So she was like, ask him this. So
yeah, because I told you to be direct with him because men like direct. He was intrigued by her voicemail, so he decided to pick up the phone because he's like, oh, okay. So that voicemail you left him was very alluring and very attractive, and most men like soft, feminine things like that. Yeah. So he didn't want to confront the issue. So I told her, I was like, no, you confront the issue. Ask him about what you said the other day and be honest and open and transparent with why you said what you said and what, you know, what triggered that.
Yeah. So I then asked him, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't our last conversation before our last few texts that we had? Because the last few texts, they were peaceful, but the conversation before that was the one that kind of rocked the boat. And he said, well, you know what? Maybe that did kind of bother me subconsciously. He said subconsciously, right? And I said, oh, really? I said, why? He was like, I don't know. I just, thought that, I'm coming all the way out to Atlanta to see just you and everything like that. Anyway. So I say, okay, well, thank you for being honest. And I text you that part. And she said, tell him thank you for your vulnerability. And I said, and thank you for your vulnerability. I really appreciate it. It's really inspiring. He's like, I never did that before.
Right.
Right?
He opened up in a way he hadn't once she, really presented that in that conversation a different level of femininity and vulnerability. And he matched that energy.
I think that was the key word. That you made him feel some type of way. You said, thank you for your vulnerability.
Yes.
He was like, oh, okay, this might be one for me.
Yeah. He said, I never did that before. And that really touched me. And it allowed me to open up even further. And what I said was, I really apologize for coming off the way that I did. And what I realized in that moment is I was projecting on him things that I had gone through in my past relationship, my most recent relationship. And I didn't want to feel like I was being walked all over or taken advantage of. And so I had put up my masculine barrier. I put up my boundaries, right? And so I call boundaries like your big brother, because it's like the masculine energy that shows up in front of you so that it can protect the feminine. And so in that moment, I was, like being a little bit, creating boundaries between us. And it allowed me to open up and see that, it took courage to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
It takes courage to be soft. And, we had a really great conversation. And we both, just kind of apologized and decided that we would be open with communication. But at first, I didn't want to be vulnerable.
Right.
You had to force me to make that telephone call.
Right.
And the other thing I told you
vulnerable.
was what she's introducing by doing that is that now he equates her to peace.
Yeah.
You know how men are always saying, I want peace, I want her to be my peace.
Right.
Now he's comfortable coming to you because you've already experienced and shared that vulnerability together.
Absolutely. But I just want to say that helped me to grow. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
Because I was against being vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay with he's blocked and his loss.
Right.
Right.
But not knowing that I actually played a part in him feeling that way as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
And
So
that's
we
really
can pay
big.
attention to
I'm
him.
so proud of you. And I think that's so important because sisterhood is really about true transformation and true growth. And if we can our first domino is us, right?
Absolutely.
So if we can be honest and transparent with ourselves and just really think about, and I know it really touched him too when you told him why you were triggered in that way. And to be that vulnerable, most men, they were like, listen, if I'm really feeling her, I'm going to save her. I'm going to let her feel safe. She felt scared, so let me make her feel safe. So he's a man's man because he definitely showed up in that way for you. So for me, that was another green flag for this guy. So I can't wait to meet him this weekend.
And y'all still dating?
Absolutely.
After that, we started back dating.
Yes.
That just happened this past Monday.
Okay, so that was about a month, maybe?
No, it's only been this week. That happened
within
this
a
week.
month. It's all been within a month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That happened.
Okay.
The tiff-taff happened last week.
Okay.
And so the apology happened Monday.
Okay, of this week. Okay.
Yeah. So it was
So he should be about to
amazing.
come see you.
And the crazy part is that we all have those things that are toxic that we deal with and that we kind of sweep under the rug. But the fact that she kind of say, okay, that's my toxic trait, you know what I'm saying? Acknowledged it, and she's not afraid to, confront it with him. You know?
I was. Let's be clear.
Well,
I was,
you were,
but I was up
but
for the
you still
challenge.
did it,
I was up for the challenge to
Yeah.
grow, and it did make me softer and more in touch with my feminine energy, and it was just refreshing to have that experience with a man,
Yeah.
And what she did say is that, Ma, this is what convinced me. She said, It's just practice for now. It's just practice. How many men do you get to interact with romantically where you're able to have this type of discourse?
Right.
So in her saying that, it really convinced me to do that.
Right.
That was good. You did good. You did good.
That
So
was what I
dating is
had to do.
practice,
It
right?
is. It's practice
Yeah.
for the real thing.
It's
And see, if
practice.
we're going to have successful relationships, we've actually got to be, you know, doing what we would do if we were actually in a serious marriage, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So let's start now. I'm not saying put ourselves in vulnerable situations to where we can be hurt,
Yeah.
but when it comes to communication, let's open up, let's be vulnerable, let's put ourselves in a space to where we are making the men in our life feel safe.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
making the men in our life see,
Ooh, that's a good
have
one.
a feminine experience with a real woman. So I tell the men I date all the time, like, listen, I'm a real woman. So the experience you're about to have is going to be life changing.
Hey.
Yes, that's some game for you right
Yes.
there.
And it's not, I promise you,
I know,
it's
but
the
it could
real
seem like that
thing.
depending on what type of guy you're talking to.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing, if he looks at it like that, then he's not for me.
Right.
Right.
Are you
Like
ever
that,
gonna
I
have the
come to the
wine?
table with being authentic, open, being authentic, open, and serious about my experiences and also the experience that I leave, right?
Right.
The impact that I leave on the men that I date, right?
Like
and I let them know, like,
your experience.
yeah,
is-
you're about to have
your
an
love
experience.
is an experience.
It's an experience.
Yes,
and it's
ma'am.
not at all about sex. As a matter of
Right.
fact,
Yeah, no.
the gentleman that I've been seeing now, it's been so amazing because we've just been, oh my God. And you've
It's
like
been so
watched this
amazing that we were
journey.
even questioning him. Like, is he even real? Right?
I'll be so glad
Is
to hear
this
those
man
stories.
real?
Because so
Is this man real?
Right, because so often men come to us
Yeah.
with like only wanting sex, only wanting, like if you're a successful woman, they
Yeah.
want to get next to you for, you know,
Whatever.
to elevate or whatever,
Yes,
you know what
yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
To money or whatever.
Yes, yes.
So for him to not want anything,
Yeah.
like my credit cards don't work around him. Well, they don't work around any man. Like
I was
you
like,
ask
he's
me,
a
but-
fraud. Can't be real.
Right, right. Just to be able to cuddle with somebody and to know that he's not trying to get in your pants,
Yeah.
and to do that
But people
consistently for
forget
months
that. That was
on
shocking
end.
for
And
me.
I mean,
But
that's
you know,
just
people
been
forget that is a
amazing.
form of intimacy.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is,
it
and
Connecting, just touching someone or
Yes.
just being
It is.
in their
Yes.
space
It is.
and
Yes,
feeling safe.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
intimacy.
And
Like, that's the
feeling
biggest
safe.
turn on for me.
it
It doesn't
is.
always have to be wham bam, thank you ma'am, but it's like, that's nice, but
Right.
I want to get to know you on a deeper level first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and, but I'm gonna be honest, and I just feel like, man, I really have been missing out on just life
Yeah.
because that's my first time having this experience.
Right.
And Ma, she knows, like when he and I first met, and then also Keenette as well. It's like they were like, oh, I'm kind of like him, but I'm like, yeah, no, not me. I'm just, we're cool.
Yeah.
And that's it.
She literally was like that.
Yeah, but then the more like he made me feel safe, and the more I come around, and it's just like what you want, what you need, what you know, it's just all about
You.
me.
Yeah.
That then takes down, like he would listen to me, and you too, like y'all know, I've never been able to open up to a man and tell him what I'm really going through.
And him be able to handle it.
yes,
Without running or feeling like this is
Yes.
too much,
Right.
or him not being tapped into his emotions enough for him to be
Right.
able to support you.
yeah, that has been such a divine.
And she's not even
experience.
an emotional person like
No,
that. Like she
I'm
feels her
not.
feelings, but she's not emotional and out of control like that. But
Right.
people go through things in life
Yeah,
sometimes, right?
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, oh my God, it's just amazing, like how
is a
I'm
great
seeing that
feeling.
my heart is changing, my feelings are changing, but I had to recognize my toxic traits in this thing.
And
right?
what is it? Can we have some wine?
Can we have some wine?
Wine, please.
KP,
Yay.
Keenette, someone. We need some
time.
drinks in here. It's time.
It's
okay.
time.
We're naming toxic traits.
Yeah, we're naming
Okay.
toxic traits. I'm gonna go
Toxic
last.
traits. No.
Here we go.
Set the stage.
This is good because normally women try to act as if
Like
they're
we
innocent.
don't have any
Oh,
toxic
he's
traits.
toxic. He's
Yes.
toxic, right?
Yeah.
But no, sis. The reason
We
why
are
he's
too.
toxic is that you attracted him.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
toxic too.
Right. Oh, remember when we were tripping one time because the last guy I dated, it was so funny. Like I would say, well, hey, I'm available. Well, yeah, I'm not. This guy, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm available. Oh, okay, let me go change my plans.
Serious.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can we
Yeah,
have a
right there.
toast to that?
So
So,
sad.
so I literally,
there.
we were tripping because we're like, wait, are you gonna go change your plans to accommodate me? Like, you know what? I need that in my life.
Yes.
Like that right there,
Action.
that's showing.
A lot
You
of
know what I
that
mean?
makes a lot
different
of
level.
sense.
That's action, like you said.
Action.
But my toxic trait has shown up, and this is me trying to stick to my freaking list. Me literally
Ooh.
my list. Like, well, this
Those
is
lists
not-
can
this
cause
is not-
limitations.
They can
Yeah.
call. There you go.
You're right.
So anyway, I have other toxic traits that I've been working on and dealing with on my own, but that is the one that has shown up for me because this man wasn't even an option for me.
Let me hear one
Right.
on the list that you weren't trying to compromise for, but you've opened up with.
Well, yeah, dating men in Atlanta.
Oh,
That one.
That's on
that's
the list.
a big one.
That's a
That's
big
on
one.
the list.
I just learned my lesson about that.
Right.
I'll try not to date in Atlanta.
I have too.
Possible.
And that was so I haven't like dated men from here, and he's been
Same.
here, and so that was my first thing. That's why I was like, man, no, whatever, we cool.
We're gonna go into Atlanta men after we list
Yes,
our toxic traits.
definitely.
So you weren't, and this is the best part I like about the relationships that I've enjoyed is when you're not looking for them,
Right.
And they just appear.
Yeah.
So did he appear?
Uh-huh.
He
Totally.
appeared.
He totally appeared. It was so funny. I was at Spice House, just dropped the kids off to their father. And I went in there and he was sitting there having a drink by himself. And his birthday was in a couple more days. And
A
he was
good
like,
man. No,
Great man.
Chilling.
So he's like, let me take care of that for you. Let me, what else you want? So he was like, it's my birthday. Do you mind having a drink with me? I was like, well, I'm not really a drinker, but I guess I can share a glass of wine with you. So we sat down and we shared a glass of wine. And it was like inseparable literally since then.
And he was available for his birthday.
Available for his birthday. He spent it with me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
All of that make a difference.
Did you say hallelujah?
Yeah. So what's your toxic trait?
Oh, this is a good one. It's comparable to the one you just described with your new friend, but patience. I lack patience. And it's always, we said, 90 days?
Yeah.
I'm like 30 minutes. Like,
Oh.
it's the littlest things, and it's trying to find the space to give people time
Yeah.
to just prove themselves. It's not always the first offense. Give them a second, a third. But I'm always on a schedule, so it's like, well, if you don't
Limitations again. Limitations. Just
Right.
like your list, your schedule.
Yes.
Limitations.
Yes.
So I'm trying to just be cool, go about my schedule as per usual, but not make that a sticking point to, oh, well, I didn't hear back in 45, so it's a wrap, right? And I'll do the block too. Lego is my specialty as well. And I've had to even check my own self, and I'll say, bro, just let it go. Like, just be pretend he's not even there. And they come back.
Yeah.
They do come back. So I do a different
They
thing.
always come back.
Where I have the rotation, right? So if one man steps up today, he'll slack off next week. Someone else will come up, and you give them the time. And then whoever is consistent with their time is who gets my energy, right? And the last one was an action person. He would say, I'm clearing my plans and fly me out, and I'm meeting him in city after city. The deal breaker was polyamorous. He wanted a poly relationship. Can't do it. And I was cool about it. I said, you know what? Good for you.
Ayala Bazant, who's in her 60s now, said she would have done it.
Really?
In a recent interview.
Really?
Yeah, she said she would have done
Surprising coming from her.
polyamory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I understand the principle of it, just not how it's done here. So
Right.
I'm East African.
Yes.
In Uganda, it's still legal. My uncle, shout out to you, has a whole village, but it's a community. It's a community building. Everyone partakes in raising the children, taking care of the family. So it's not the
See, I like
sneaky
that.
links and she's doing this and she's
Yes.
doing that.
Yes.
There's a sisterhood. So if it was done that way, I'd be interested. For
Oh, not
sure.
me.
For sure. Everyone's taken care of.
Yeah.
I can't.
And he has enough
not ready.
goats and cows, you know?
It's a status thing.
I'm not ready.
But it is a status
I
thing. You
can't.
have to be
Sharonda,
able
you have
to
to
be able to
afford
afford
it.
it.
Yes.
Sharonda, is it a
whole
no
way.
for you? Is it a no for you?
I'm just not ready
It's
for
a no
that.
for me, but I can't.
No.
You ladies have a strawberry. And Ma, do you want to describe for us?
My toxic trait?
Yes. Beautiful. Here you go.
Okay, so I would have to say it goes back to
Stir.
being Queen Lego. Because, you know,
Thank you.
at the drop of anything like you were talking about earlier, Sharonda, that, you know, you get kind of flustered by the
Frustrated.
things they do. Yeah, well, I kind of have no patience for immaturity. I have no patience for inconsistency. I have no patience for your inability to emotionally express yourself. And I know that's a foreign place for men.
Very.
But just communicate. You know, just communicate. If you don't like me, communicate. If you do like me, communicate. You know, communicate. Let me know.
Right.
I
right.
cannot read your mind, right?
Right.
So at the drop of any of those inconsistencies and anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm blocking you because I have nothing to lose in this situation.
Wow.
Right? However, I do have some things to gain in situations because what I saw Monday when you forced me to call him was growth for myself.
Right.
You know, it really elevated, again, it tapped me deeper into my feminine energy because I would have ran away from that situation because
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. And I also didn't want to deal with the discomfort of
Yeah.
having to deal with that.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the discomfort lies in me having to soften up and be vulnerable in a situation where I, you know, wanted to blame him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And far too many times, us as women, we like to point the finger at the man and
But
the
not
time.
look at ourselves.
not look at ourselves. So I love the opportunities for growth. So my toxic trait would be the block game. And I think we were talking the other day and I was texting. I sometimes call on B a lot for, you know, just advice when it comes to communicating because I haven't been successful at relationships. So I was telling her about some plans that he was making. She's like, keep it light, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, you know, why isn't he picking me up in a Maybach?
Black car or something.
You know? What is happening here? You know? So, you know, I kept it light and
And it was successful.
it was successful and yeah, that is my toxic trait and I own it. And men aren't the only toxic ones.
Right.
Okay.
We are
we
like that
are
too.
freaking toxic too.
Yeah.
And we set the tone for things. So if
do.
we don't like the way things are going, we have the power to change it.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
But we have to tap into that feminine energy, that vulnerability, that softness, that sweetness, and heal ourselves through the process because that was healing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
conversation I had with him
To
Monday.
identify with it.
You
And
know?
you see,
Right.
we,
Really
as,
good.
we as women, we have to remember that men, they may introduce us to the environment, but we create the atmosphere that's maintained in the relationship.
I like that.
So if we remember that, like if the relationship is feeling like it's going in a negative direction, I would say we need to take responsibility for that. Because sometimes we react as women in a certain way.
All the time.
And we react rather than responding.
I can
And a
hear
part
them say,
of-
what? Well, what if he does
Exactly.
this? Well, what if he does
You just
that?
be ready to
How
go
are
off.
we responsible for that? That's what I
Right.
can hear women saying.
And you know what? And here's the thing, right? The only thing we need to be responsible for is how we respond to the situation because we cannot control a man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Not
try to,
react, but
we try to
respond.
and that's the
But
thing.
a lot
we
of it is
typically
self-sabotage, right? We get in our own heads and start
And we
stewing
think-
about things. And it's like, girl,
Yes.
it was nothing existed before that.
Right.
You created
If
that.
we get
But when you're committed to that, you have
Yes.
to commit all the way through
Right.
it, no matter what.
And if we get right our power, our power.
Come on.
That's why
it
men,
to me.
like for real. So it's so often we think that it's manipulation, right? But we gotta get that there's always going to be like an opposite negative reaction to our gifts as women.
Hello.
So we are blessed with the gift of persuasion. Okay, we walk into the room. We can typically, if we're tapped into our femininity, right, in the way, and we're secure within ourselves, we can typically leave that room with anything we want.
Hey.
However,
That is right.
if we abuse that power of
That's the
persuasion,
difference.
it becomes manipulation.
It does.
Right?
Right.
And you see women lead with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use my sexuality. I'm gonna do my sensuality. I mean, it's okay to utilize all that, but have intellect.
Yeah.
Have a plan
Yes.
along with that to help to add to someone's life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, I believe it's a whole package as a woman, and we can have our toxicity because we do, because our experiences
And we're
introduce
human.
us, right? Because we're real people. But if we stop and slow down for just a second and say, why am I feeling this way? And that's what we did that day, right? I was like, Ma, the only reason why you feel that way, the only reason why you feel unsafe is because of something that happened in your past. Communicate that. Don't be afraid to communicate that. And be okay
And he
with
appreciated that.
be okay with not feeling safe in that moment, because the things like
You
that
know, the
happen.
only time I realized that was not appreciated was for a man who was not for me. Because usually, if you're sharing something that bothered you or that you've gone through, it'll make that man want to empathize and create a safe space for you.
Yeah.
But if his intentions are other, he's gonna run from that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Ooh, girl, now what's your toxic trait?
Like I said before, my patience. This short, and then when you start getting older and you know you've been single and you're independent and you're looking for love, but you're not looking for it. You like hoping it finds you. My patience is so short. I meet somebody, like I said before, if it's going, it's going. If it's not, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, what happened? We was just good. Now we're not good. I know I didn't do anything. I don't know if you got
How do
something
you know
else
you
going
didn't do
on.
anything?
Because I feel like I be doing the right thing and saying the right
Okay,
thing.
give us an example. We're here to help.
I'm the consistent one. Especially if I like someone, I'm going to keep going. But if I'm not getting that back, I feel some type of way. And I'm like, I thought we was good. We're not good if you're not giving me what I'm giving you.
And
I
that's
don't
the
like
problem
that.
sometimes.
It
You know
makes
that.
me real impatient. And
In
I'll
the
be like, okay,
beginning-
I'm good with him. That's it. And I just shut down from the guy. And he could
I need more
potentially be the
details.
right
Do you
one.
give him the opportunity to explain?
I
like,
do, because I ask questions.
Okay.
I ask anything I want to know. I ask questions. I go in with the questions.
Because I
And
know
do you
I've
give
done
him-
that, and it's always ended up with egg in my face because I'm just jumping off the cliff of conclusions. Like, he's out there running the streets. He's
No,
doing
not
this.
like in a
And then
negative
it'll
way.
be something simple like he broke his ankle and he was in the hospital.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You ever had that happen?
You like,
You're
you
like,
like,
oh,
you
okay.
just kind of like
All of
jump
your
to
feelings,
conclusion.
right?
And he's all in the hospital.
Right.
Right.
You jump to conclusion like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't know. But you still could have called me. You still could have texted me. Like, have somebody call me. Let me know something. Like, I don't like that when I like somebody and you're not. I know you like me just as much as I like, and this is before we even fall in love or do anything else. And I'm not getting that back. I have a problem with you. I've always been like that.
And let me just
I'm
say
trying
this.
to work on it because
No, but that's legitimate.
Oh, it's
if he's
like-
not giving you something, there's something wrong.
and it's
Okay.
easy for me to identify and be
Men-
like, I'm cool. So I know
Yeah.
how to easily walk away. Whether I'm in a situation, I could honestly say every situation or relationship I've been in, besides one, I walked away from. That's how strong-minded I am and thorough in my space. I left the relationship.
Are you
Me,
leaving to
besides
protect or to
Besides one
self-sabotage
person.
and protect yourself? Are you leaving as a form of self-sabotage and to protect yourself?
I
Sabotage.
would have to say to protect myself.
Okay.
I would say to protect myself because I don't like to feel hurt. Like, I'm a leader
Okay.
and I'm aggressive and I like to be in control. But I will let you lead. I do not have a problem with letting you lead, but you have to make me want to let you lead me
Correct. Correct.
correctly.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to do it. It don't matter how hard you're trying. I'm like, nah, this ain't it, but we cool. We can still.
But if you're starting
not-
off with aggression and control,
I don't start off with aggression. I'm
you
not
said
aggressive.
you're naturally aggressive.
I am, but
and-
I'm also
and you
shy
like
too,
being
though.
in
But I'm
control.
shy, but you won't know that. I come off very shy in the beginning. And it's not an act. It's like, oh, she's so sweet. But when I get into you, it's
You
like
know,
that.
normally when people
It's
need
like-
to be controlling, it's because you don't want to lose control of something inside of you.
Possibly.
So what is it inside of you that you are avoiding facing in these instances when you
But
become
I'm
irritated?
impatient. I'm impatient at this point.
And sometimes, and being impatient is not always a bad thing. If you know what you want and you know what feels good to you, so often we
Feels
allow
good,
men
yes.
and circumstances in relationships to help to make us forget what feels good to us.
Right.
Remember, our feelings is there to guide us. It's not there to rule us, but it's there to be a guidance system for us. So if the relationship that you're in is not, if it's not feeling good to you, and if it's not going according to the things that you like, leave it.
Basic
You're wasting your time. So don't
feelings. I love that.
like if a man has communicated to you, I'm in this relationship, I'm here for you, I live out of town right now, but I'm moving in 3 months, and you're like, well, forget it. That's impatient.
No, it's not
That's
that.
not-
Because my last couple relationships was long distance, and actually, by me saying what I'm saying, it might not make sense to y'all, but that's what's been working.
Why it gotta be us?
How we get it?
We do all of us do long distance relationships.
That's what's been working for the last quite a couple of years. Not
Yeah.
a few
I mean,
years, but
because we're about to get into Atlanta Men.
right, because we're about
And
to
why
seriously.
we haven't
the
been
long distance thing has been
exploring
working for
that here.
years. That
So
would be my
before
top
we
tip.
end, this has been amazing. We want to talk a little bit about these Atlanta men. Ew.
So what I found, I'll start it off.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, so we talking about the men that's from here?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
Atlanta Men. So when I first came here, I got on Tinder. This was 7 years ago. And I met someone, right? And he is like the token Atlanta man. Okay? And what I call Atlanta men are super singles.
Yes.
Do you know what a
true.
super single?
Yeah,
What do you think a super single is?
a man that lives by himself, don't know how to do anything with a couple, travels by
career
himself.
single.
What else? What
Career
else?
single. That's the only goal.
What do you mean?
Like that's the career. Is
Yes.
just to stay single and just be a
Oh,
serial dater.
their career single. Okay, what do you
Yes.
think a super single is?
Of being a super single.
Right,
Stay
so-
by himself, don't do too much, you know, and he's just dating.
Yeah.
He's just dating until he finds what he's looking for.
So for me, a super single are those things, but he wants to be in a relationship, but he really doesn't. Like he is so satisfied with just dating, and he feels like he is the prize of it all.
Oh,
Okay.
the Atlanta man.
They do be like that.
And that's what I found in meeting Atlanta men.
Right.
You know, I dated one seriously, but others I just went on dates with. And oh my God, they had that same
type
kind of
of form,
attitude.
yeah.
Been
Yeah.
single for years, has his career. That's what he's focused on. He does not care about any kind of serious relationship, right? That's Atlanta men.
But you
for me.
just tapped
Yeah.
on it. They know they're the prize. Like they're.
What do you mean they know
No,
the
they're not
prize?
the prize. They're delusional.
They think they
Yeah.
know they're the prize. But the few that I've encountered just out and about, you know, mingling and stuff, is they are entitled and they are accustomed
Yes.
to a certain behavior, a certain characteristic
Aggressive
of
women.
Okay.
Aggressive women.
But also, there. How many
true.
women to
Submissive
one man in Atlanta?
women
Is
It
it like
doesn't even matter.
double digits? But
It is, yeah.
those women flock to them. They
Yes.
cater to them.
I noticed
They're
something
obsessed
different
with
in
them.
Atlanta because I'm from New York, right?
Yeah.
Women in New York, we're like stush. We, don't talk to
Right.
me. It's going to be
Yeah, because
hard
the guys
to talk
are
to me.
aggressive and they're
right?
going to approach you every time.
Yeah.
But here, I was taken aback when I saw how women would send men drinks and
Exactly.
aggress
Overly
towards them.
submissive
Oh
early
my
on. You be
God.
like,
So a man expects that every single time until they
Right.
meet you, me, you.
right.
Right?
And we got to be the ones that challenge it. Because they
See,
expect
that's
us
what
to
I
be
mean.
I'm not
Everybody
challenging
waste
for challenging
Right.
it for
No, no,
anyone.
no.
I'm just being me,
Right.
right?
They can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And it's so funny that you guys have said that because that's the reason why I decided I wasn't going to date here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I met a few people and I noticed that he wanted me to pursue him.
Right.
Which is like, I'm a Southern Belle.
That
A Southern
part.
Belle, baby. I'm the prize.
That part.
Okay. And once you enter into this kingdom,
Yes.
like I posted the other day, right? I said, when you look at me, you may think that I'm a queen on the outside, but wait until you see the inside. Because I am the whole kingdom.
Come on.
And I understand the experience that I give men, that you will elevate. You will lead this relationship better. Okay?
Absolutely.
I want to know one thing.
On the first week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
first week.
But we gotta wrap up. Okay. This has been amazing. We gotta do a part 2. This gotta be ongoing. This has gotta give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. This gotta be ongoing. But I want you guys to look into the camera, because you know a lot of men are gonna see this, and I need you guys to look and tell right into the camera. Tell Atlanta, tell the world, what is your ideal man? What do you look for in your future husband? Or if you even have something you want to say to, hey, dear future husband, what do you have to say to that man? Look in the camera.
Call me. No. I know you are out there. I know you are for me. I am here, willing, waiting, able, and waiting to be your queen.
Oh, dear future husband. She said that. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear future husband, I am so excited to spend my life with you and to be. No, let's start over. Because I was about to lie. Okay. Dear future husband, I really appreciate your consideration. I appreciate how you fill in the blank spots for me. I appreciate how your strengths make me stronger and my strengths make you stronger. I love how we complement each other. I love how you make me feel. I've been waiting for this feeling all my life. Oh my God. I'm so happy you're here with me.
That was spicy. Okay. If you had to look in the camera and say to your dear future husband, and he could be watching, so what would you say to him?
Dear future husband, I am here waiting for you patiently, dating one guy at a time. Not like if that's going to matter or not, but I'm working on my patience. I know you're out there. I believe that I'm the love of your life. You just don't know it yet. And we're going to make something happen. We complement each other. You match my fly. My fly match your fly. And we can make something happen. You just got to get to know me. You got to find me. I'm out here.
Oh, did you see the little wink? Hey, I love it, Sharonda. I'm still in that, girl. All right, guys, this has been an amazing episode. We definitely got to have this as an ongoing series, Girlfriends Talk. Oh, my God. I love my co-host tonight. You guys were phenomenal. And you are your match my flag. So thank you, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, okay? And just keep in mind that all the ladies here, we are definitely looking for our future husband, and we know that you are out there.
Yes.
So looking forward to the next season. Yay!